it's Rebecca again with We Live Inspired, and it is late at night. It's like 1 in the morning. I'm up past my bedtime since I'm supposed to be on a bird schedule. I'm just going to do a quick vlog because I've been uploading the Sparrow videos, but I said that I was also going to get in front of the camera sometimes and kind of vlog about what's going on in life, and especially what's going on with the current bird project that I'm doing. So I'm just in my, and on a side note, I don't know how long this, how much storage I have left on my phone for video, so I don't know how long of a video I'll be able to make here, but I'm in the garden room. I'm in my gardening clothes, I'm wearing my dirty gardening hat. I was gardening and doing yard work earlier tonight, and I'm wearing my Bob Ross t-shirt. I mean, you gotta, no mistakes, just happy accidents. So, and I believe that too, no mistakes, just happy accidents. So, love this shirt for gardening and whatnot. Oh, today, so there's a lot coming up in the week, and I'll go into that in another vlog. A lot with the bird as far as what the next steps are and what's going to be happening in the new week. I talked to Louise, who is the wildlife rehab expert and the licensed animal rehabber that I talked to get help with knowledge about the bird. And since our bird Trooper, the sparrow, has gotten to a certain point in his development now, where I can tell it's like he's ready for the next phase. We've gotten him past the very beginning stages where he didn't have feathers, and I was feeding him every 15 to 20 minutes for a 14-hour period straight, which was just grueling, let me say. I mean, I felt like my life has been completely in upheaval. And at the same time, it's not a complaint, because this has been an amazing experience. This has been like so inspirational and such a gift from God that I've been going through all of this. I think it's just a wonderful experience, but I have had to put my life on hold, and when you have to feed a bird every 20 to 30 minutes for 14 hours straight every single day to keep the bird alive and to make sure it grows and thrives, you feel like there's not time to do anything else, because the timer is constantly going off, and I have to be constantly cleaning up his cage or his crate with, you know, every time he goes to the bathroom I have to clean it up, and I have to do food prep in between and keep sterilizing the dishes and the feeding tools and things like that. So it feels like you're in the midst of a mad dash to like trying to get whatever you can get done in the day in small little increments, you know, dash to put a load of laundry and dash to try to get some dinner made in between. And so my house has kind of gone on the wayside. It's been a mess. I've managed to keep up with doing the laundry, the dishes, and cooking meals from scratch every day, and taking care of the bird, and that's about it. In the beginning, in the first, you know, in vlogging about the first like 10 days or something, the first 2 weeks of raising a baby bird. We are now at the point where he is a fledgling, it's called. He's no longer I think it's called a nestling, when the bird is like supposed to be in the nest, they don't have feathers and such. They're called a nestling. Once they get to the point where they can perch, they have feathers, and they're going to be able to learn to fly soon, they're called a fledgling. And when the bird gets to this point, it's a lot easier. So now I've increased the feeding time. When I talked to Louise about the next steps and where I'm at, she said I only had to feed once every hour to hour and 15 minutes now. So that gives me a lot more time in between feedings to go out and garden or clean the house a little, or, you know, getting back to my business here soon, getting some work done, things like that. So that's where we're at time-wise, which is a blessing. Today was a really exciting day because it was totally unexpected. I think Trooper is about, gotta think on this, I think like 2 weeks old, like about 13 to 14 days old today. And it's Sunday, it's Memorial Day weekend. Anyway, he or she flew for for the first time today, which was so inspiring and so exciting. I did not expect this whatsoever. That's one of the things I'm going to be talking about coming up this week, all these new tasks that I have to do to help the bird in the next phase. One of the things that Louise told me was that I needed to help the bird with the flying, and she said that what she does with her birds that she rehabs is takes them outside in the grass and lets them walk around and get familiar, because I guess birds learn to fly from the ground up, or at least sparrows do. I don't know if all birds do, but sparrows learn to fly from the ground up. So, you know, I didn't expect Trooper to take off flying on his own like this. I mean, this was amazing. So he was just basically, I went to feed him tonight, and he hopped up onto the rim of the crate that he's in and sat on the rim for a while. And I could tell that he was thinking about flying. I know that sounds crazy, but this little bird has a lot of expressions on his face. And I'll be sharing some pictures and some videos to come so you can see what I mean. But he does make expressions, and it's like I could see him thinking. He was tilting his head every which way and pacing back and forth, kind of, you know, walking back and forth on the rim of this, like just kind of bebopping up and down. And I thought, he is thinking about flying. But it wasn't really from the ground up per se, because he was perched on the rim of this. And I have a video of it that I'll be uploading later. I'm behind in my videos a little bit, but he was perched on the rim, and all at once he took off flying across the room up to my highest shelf. I mean, he started out pretty ambitious because he went to the highest point that he could perch on in this room. We have 8-foot tall ceilings, so it's not that huge, but up onto the very highest bookshelf. And where he chose to perch was really funny too, and I have a picture about that. So I'll make a video showing his first flight. But it was just amazing and unexpected, and so now the bird can fly, and it's like Trooper got so excited that he could fly that he landed down on my knee, and I have a video of this too. And he perched on my knee when he came down and was just chattering away, making a lot of noise at me, acting excited, and then kept wanting to fly all over, because it's like, oh, now I've got wings, now I know I can fly, and I'm not stuck in this little crate, and just getting all excited. But I need to bird-proof this room a little bit better so that he doesn't hurt himself. So I need to be looking at that. I have some things to do this coming week, and I probably won't get a lot done till Tuesday, since it's Memorial Day tomorrow. Or today now, I guess, since it's 1 in the morning. But anyway, so I'm trying to think of what else I wanted to say. So we had some inspiration there, and there's so much that I could say about the inspiration of seeing a bird fly for the first time. I mean, it's such a metaphor for life, especially considering when you saw this bird was like so feeble, and this little alien looking thing that had no feathers and was just skin, and you could see all its organs through the skin. It was translucent skin. And to go from that within just a week, I mean, he looked like that a week ago or less, and to go from the progress of growth has been what's amazing to me. I mean, I've seen kittens being born and puppies and human babies, of course, and they all grow pretty fast, but nothing progresses as fast as a bird that I've seen so far in life. I mean, literally, there were days with this bird's growth. You know, I was on a 12 to 14 hour feeding schedule with him. I would get up in the morning at like 6 a.m. and start feeding, and feed until about 8 p.m. at night. And I could actually see the growth by the evening. That's how crazy his growth was. At 6 in the morning, he'd have like, maybe overnight, I would notice a small little bit of something had changed. His feathers, his little spines, the pin feathers would come out or something. And then like 12 hours later, when it was time for bed by the end of the night, his feather size would have almost doubled. So I was just like, this is the craziest thing, how fast that I can visibly see the growth in the same day. And then you'd wake up the next day and it'd be like even more and more, and so on. So you'll see in the videos that I'm posting every day, and like I said, I'm behind because he's fully feathered and flying now, and I just uploaded a new documentary video today, and it was from about, I don't know, 5 days ago. And in this video, she wasn't fully feathered yet and flying and things like that. He had just started to perch in my hand. But literally within, like, that was just 3 or 4 days ago or something like that. Literally within the past few days, he's grown into a fully feathered flying bird. It's just unbelievable, the progress that this bird has made. And then to see it take flight, I mean, for me, this is so meaningful and exciting, because when Trooper came to me, he looked like he could possibly not make it. And like, this bird was feeble and possibly could die. And to see him go from that, and then the painstaking, you know, time and effort I've put into round the clock nurturing him, feeding him, spending a lot of my day and a lot of my time with this bird, and to see the growth like that, and then to see this bird be happy and healthy and knowing that I saved its life, and then to see it take off in flight, it was just like this total feeling of joy inside of me. I've been in awe and wonder and amazement at watching a baby bird go from where he was a week ago to flying across the room and acting happy. And nature is just amazing, and God's creation is just amazing. I take a look at it and I just can't believe. And it's such a metaphor for life when you think about it, because here's this baby bird. As far as, you know, inspired living goes, if you're not familiar with my blog, which is weliveinspired.com, I do write a lot about things like this that happen to me in life that I notice, and delving into the inspiration in life with the things that I observe. And this baby bird is such an example of that. I mean, it speaks to me a lot about the unknown, about fears, about having courage. I mean, this bird had never flown before in its life, right? I was practicing with him, I will say. Like, I had Trooper perched on my finger today earlier, and she or he's been flapping its wings, you know, kind of exercising the, oh, it noticed I've got wings, and starts flapping the wings. And I had him on my finger, and I was lowering my finger, going like this up and down today to kind of get the bird used to flapping. And it was flapping and flapping and flapping. I could feel a lot of wind coming off the wings, so I knew it was getting a feel for these wings, but it had never flown before. It's instinctual, I guess. It didn't know, though, that it could fly. No mama bird to teach it. No other birds for examples. I mean, it's an orphan bird. It has no other example of flying to look at, right? And the bird could have, like, I mean, you think about, like, how we often get scared. And we kind of tiptoe into something, you know, or like, we're just going to try it. We're just going to dip our big toe in the water. And we kind of proceed with caution. And you could tell the bird was like gearing up to fly. It sat there for quite a long time before it decided to take off. I don't know, maybe 5-10 minutes. But it totally took off, and when it discovered it had wings, it didn't just try a little bit. I mean, it soared. It just took off to the highest point in the room and flew into the unknown. It was the unknown. It didn't know if it could do it, probably. Never had flown before. Realized, hey, I've got some wings. Let's try these out. Let's see what happens. And discovered that he really liked it and has been wanting to fly ever since. You know, flying around the room and testing these wings out. But think about that first takeoff, that first flight of trying its wings, and how, you know, I mean, it's got to be a scary thing, like your first time taking off and testing your wings out. And he made it. So it's just such a metaphor for life for me, and something that I need to be reminded of too, because I get stuck in my fears a lot of times. And it's like a lot of things that we want to do in life, it's the unknown. And to go boldly forward into the unknown, and not knowing if we can fly, but just trusting our wings, that we have what it takes. I mean, this is in this bird's makeup. The bird is biologically made to fly. It's, you know, and I think about what we're created to do and what we're made to do, and knowing that we're always supported, right? I mean, the bird has wings, and it knows to some degree. It doesn't know if it can fly, but it's supported. So I like to think of it, it's just inspiring me to think about the fact that maybe we're always supported, supported by God, and, you know, and we have what it takes inside of us to do a lot more than we think we're capable of, I think, if we're just willing to get off that ledge and fly and just try it out, try our wings out, see how far they take us. And then, who knows, we may get really excited and enjoy it, and like where we're going with these wings, just like the little bird did. So those are my thoughts today as I was watching this bird in flight. It's just so inspirational and rewarding and exciting. And I was posting on Facebook all about it earlier, and I've got pictures today to share later. And anyway, so I leave you with that. I've got more to come in the next week here, sharing all the fun things and not so fun things. I've got some kind of gross things diet-wise. We're going to be getting into bugs, worms, insects, things like that the next week here with the bird. And I am so not a tomboy type of girl. I mean, I love nature, but I'm a girly girl. I'm not a worm-loving, bug-loving type of girl. So this is going to be stepping outside of my comfort zone, talking about getting some wings here, doing things that I wouldn't normally want to do. I'm going to be delving into some new territory in the coming week, and I'll talk about that more in the next vlog. But I'm going to get to bed here, and I will talk to you later. Have a good night, everybody. Have a good Memorial Day, and God bless.